Dobar dan, dragi učenici. Dobrodošli na sat engleskog jezika. Danas ćemo razgovarati o tome kako dati uputu za neki recept. Ishodi ove naše današnje lekcije su da učenik dopunjava dijalog izrazima koji nedostaju, da učenik u razgovoru koristi riječi i izraze koji se odnose na hranu, te da učenik koristi veznike u davanju uputa za recept. Za današnji sat potrebna vam je bilježnica ili papir, olovka, pristup internetu i čitač QR kodova. Hello, dear students. Welcome to your English lesson. Today, we are going to talk about giving instructions in a recipe. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to complete the dialogue with the missing phrases. You will be able to use words and phrases related to food in a conversation, and you will be able to use linkers when giving instructions in a recipe. For today's lesson, you will need a paper or a notebook, a pencil, an internet access, and a QR code reader. You will start with one short activity. It's a listening and matching game. You can scan this QR code, or you can copy the link you see on the screen and play the game. Listen to the audio sounds very carefully and match them to the correct pictures. All the phrases are connected with food preparation. So good luck! Now you will hear a short dialogue between two brothers. One brother is giving instructions to the other brother. They are making chocolate muffins for their mom. So listen carefully.
David, what are you doing?
I'm making chocolate muffins for our mum. It's her birthday tomorrow. Can you help me?
Yes, what do we need?
Look, this is Mum's recipe. We need 4 eggs, some sugar, milk, oil, flour, and a packet of baking powder.
Great, we have all the ingredients. Are they easy to make?
Yes, they are. First, break 4 eggs and add them to the bowl. Beat them with a whisk. Then, add 1.5 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, and 1 cup of oil. After that, use a spoon to mix the ingredients.
And then?
Then, add 2.5 cups of flour and a packet of baking powder. Mix it all with a spoon and pour it into the muffin cups.
Is that all?
No. Finally, chop some chocolate with a knife and add it to the muffin cups.
How long do you bake them for?
We bake them for 15 to 18 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so you have heard the dialogue. I told you at the beginning of this lesson that you will be able to complete the dialogue with the missing phrases. Now it's time to do it. You can scan this QR code and complete the dialogue. It's the same dialogue that you have just heard. 5 sentences are missing. So good luck one more time with this task. I hope that it won't be hard for you. But you can always stop the video and listen to the dialogue one more time. It will be easier for you to do the task. I told you at the beginning of this lesson that you will be able to use linkers when giving instructions in a recipe. But do you know what linkers are? Well, they are words we use to show the order in which things happen, like first, then, after that, and finally. So step number 1. First, break the eggs. So that's the first thing you need to do. Step number 2. Then add sugar and milk. So that's the second thing you need to do. After you break the eggs, you need to add sugar and milk. Step number 3. After that, use a spoon to mix the ingredients. And number 4, finally, bake it in the oven for 20 minutes. So that's the last thing you should do. Like I said, these linkers in our case help us follow the steps we need to do when giving instructions in a recipe. Here you will see some useful vocabulary and phrases that you will need when you are going to give instructions about your recipe. When you are giving instructions, you should be familiar with the cooking tools you need to make your favorite dish or food, like whisk, knife, cake, tin, spoon, or bowl. You also need to be familiar with food preparation words like add, mix, bake, break, beat, or chop. You also need to use linkers. First, then, after that, and finally. So we use linkers to show the order in which things happen. And the last thing, phrases we need to use when we give instructions. Like, what do you need? Are they easy to make? How long do you bake it for? And so on. Now, you have here some useful vocabulary and phrases. It's time for your third task today. Act out a dialogue. This should actually be a pair work, but that's not possible at the moment. I like to call it a one-man play. So try to act out a dialogue between two people. You have to be person A and you have to be person B. Maybe you can stand in front of the mirror and act out a dialogue. Try to change your voice while doing that. You can use the text you heard, dialogue you heard as a model, or you can use your own phrases and vocabulary to act out a dialogue. And good luck with that. Now, we have come to an end of our lesson, but it's time to think about your progress. So how do you feel and how do you like today's lesson? I can complete the dialogue. So can you complete the dialogue? Do you remember the task? Can you complete the dialogue with the missing phrases? If you can do it, put a tick. If you can't do it, then put a cross. I can act out a dialogue. Can you do it? Put a tick. If you can't do it, put a cross. I use linkers when giving instructions. So when you give instructions, do you use linkers first, then, after that, or finally? If you use them, put a tick. If you don't use them, put a cross. And the last one, I learned something new today. So have you learned something new today? If you have learned something new today, put a tick. If you haven't learned anything new today, then put a cross. So that's it, dear students. I really hope that you liked today's lesson and that you are able to give instructions about a recipe. That's it for today. Goodbye and see you some other time.